You're going to Europe and I'm gonna help you save money on your trip. In this video, I'm not gonna be serving you your typical stay in hostels, bring a reusable drink bottle. Surely by this point we all know that that's just common sense. These tips are going way deeper than that and they are specific to Europe. And if you're wondering like, Abby, what makes you qualified to talk on this? Well, I have lived in Europe for most of my adult life and I just know what I'm talking about, okay? So let's get you living out all your hot girl European summer dreams without breaking the bank in the process. Our bodily functions are being used and abused in Europe. Pretty much everywhere charges you to use a public toilet, especially in train stations and malls. And prices are like anywhere from 20 cents to €1. And I'm sorry, if you're paying €1 every time to use a bathroom, that shit literally adds up. If you're desperate, grab an espresso at a cafe and use their bathroom. That is 2 for the price of 1. Bread is your new bestie. Now, this tip might negate tip number 1 if it's overly consumed, but bread. It is so good to have on hand to make yourself a little packed lunch or breakfast in the morning or both. You can buy your favorite fillings from the supermarket and whip yourself up a little packed lunch before heading out for the day. By the end of my last backpacking trip, I could not think of anything worse than eating another tomato and cucumber sandwich. But hey, they save me a lot of money. Do walking tours because walking tours will probably change your life.
Hey Gemma, have I converted you to like walking tours? Maybe a little bit. Oh yeah!
You want to do a walking tour on the very first day that you arrive in a new city because then you get all the history, you're an expert for the rest of your time in the city, and your guide will usually give you some amazing insider tips like cheap eats, must-sees, and these tips will serve you for the rest of your time in the city. You can easily book walking tours by Googling walking tours in insert city, and there will be a ton of options. You just choose the time and person that kind of like suits your needs. You usually walk around for 3 hours and it works on like a compensation basis. So you're walking around, you're getting all of this knowledge, and then you compensate your guide at the end accordingly. So I think the most common tip to leave is €10. This is my student card. You need a student card. If you have one, that's amazing. If you don't have one, please strongly consider borrowing one from a friend who looks like you. Yes, I am condoning illegal activity here, all in the name of saving money. A lot of museums, galleries, monuments, even theme parks have student discounts and they can save you a ton of money on entry fees. Basically, just take your student card with you at all times because you never really know when it's going to come in handy. Use BlaBlaCar especially to get to and from the airports. BlaBlaCar is an app where you can ride share with other people going to and from your same destination. The driver just posts the price of what a seat in their car costs, and usually it's way cheaper than public transport. This tip is especially amazing if you're going to and from the airport because people that work at the airport or on planes are also going to and from the airport, and they usually post their trips to save money on their own trips to the airport. So basically it's a win-win and I highly recommend giving it a go, especially in Northern or Central Europe. Flixbus. 9 times out of 10, Flixbus is cheaper than public trains. It can be really uncomfortable and involves some ridiculous hours of the morning, but trust me, it's always worth it for the savings.
I just got kicked out of Macca's and I have like an hour and 40 minutes until my bus comes. It's absolutely freezing outside. I want to go home. I want to be in bed. This is the worst.
Oh, and if the stars align, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone because you get your transport and your night's accommodation paid for in one. But I really believe that I've found the secret to making a long Flixbus journey enjoyable, and that is by booking the back seat and paying about €3 or whatever it is extra to also book the seat next to you so that you're sure to have those 2 seats just for yourself and you can lay out on the back seat, which is bigger and has more room, room
I've just been asleep. It's been amazing.
and just sleep for the whole trip, which is just going to change your Flixbus experience. By the way, everything I talk about, links and that will be down below in the description, so check them out. Use Move It. This app is by far the best way to navigate public transport systems in Europe. Forget Apple or Google Maps, this thing is just such a whiz and just way more reliable. I felt so confident getting myself to and from anywhere I wanted to go by using the features on this app, like scheduling and real-time arrivals. Trust me, you won't need taxis or Ubers, you just need this app. You should consider doing a workaway. Workaway, like the name pretty much says it all. This is a way to connect you with hosts who usually provide free accommodation and food in exchange for your hard labor. It is such a good idea if you want to stay in Europe and make your budget stretch that little bit longer. It's an amazing way as well to get to know a place. Like, you could work as an English teacher in hostels, on farms, on doing eco projects. Genuinely, the opportunities are endless. I've met so many people in my years of travel doing workaways and they've all had such amazing experience. I've never had the opportunity to do one myself, but it is definitely on the cards in hopefully the near future. You might want to consider traveling off season. I really can't say this without prefacing the fact that I'm just not a fan of this tip, but things are just so much more expensive in June, July and August. So if you're really serious about saving money, then maybe considering traveling off season is the way to go. But personally for me, like, it's European summer. Like, there is no summer like it, and I wasn't gonna sacrifice like having an amazing traveling experience in European summer just to save money, but maybe you might want to consider it. Okay, my last tip is kind of a bit like motherly advice, but do not book all of your accommodations in advance. Don't listen to anyone telling you to do that. You should be flexible and go with the flow. You can get some amazing tips from travelers that you meet along the way who maybe have come from a place that you're going to and will recommend a hostel or things to see. Maybe they had a bad experience in a place you're going, so then you change your route. You can learn so much by just being on the road, and it really pays to be flexible. Also, this method is really good because you can cut out the middleman if you go to a place and you love it. Like, you cut out booking.com and hostel world. The middleman is gone, and I've been able to save 10% on accommodation by doing this. Or you might rock up and hate it, and then you don't get stung with cancellation fees, because that's what happened to us. I have never been in a place worse than this. When we first arrived in Istanbul, it was horrible. Please comment below any other travel tips you may have, or the tip that you feel has helped you the most. Commenting seriously supports my channel so much, but seriously, by saving money in these areas, you will have more money to spend on amazing experiences, and you're just gonna have the best time ever. So please enjoy, subscribe, and bye.